Welcome to Kaumudy Global. This is Anjana for you. On April 4th, Australia's High Commissioner to India, Barry Farrell, spoke on India's position on the ongoing Russian military operation in Ukraine, saying that India has always believed in establishing conditions in which solutions can be found rather than denouncing the incident. Australia understands India's position. An Indian PM 65 years ago outlined a sensible doctrine where he said India was not in the business of condemnation, but in the business of creating conditions in which solutions can be found, he said. Mr. O'Farrell stated India had challenges and Australia had faced economic compulsion during an event hosted by the Australia-India Institute on the rise of Australia-India relations. We are facing a new challenge in the Pacific. Those issues are not going to go away overnight, and there is no doubt the implications of the invasion of Ukraine will reverberate in our region for some time. We are, by our very design, stewards of one of the world's greatest maritime resources. Our geography places us squarely in the middle of the world's strategic center of gravity. And as the international system becomes more multipolar, the region's resilience will be tested, Mr. O'Farrell said. He said current developments in Europe serve as a reminder of the world's deep strategic difficulties and disruption, and that the order that has maintained peace and prosperity for decades is under threat. In response to concerns about India's position on Russia's war in Ukraine, Mr. O'Farrell stated that the Quad grouping recognized that each country has a position on Ukraine. Friends may have differences of view, he added, adding that Australia understands India's position. Mr. O'Farrell said that the G20 would decide on Russia's inclusion at the upcoming G20 conference, which has been opposed by the West. In terms of the two countries' growing defense cooperation, the Australian Envoy stated that cooperative defense actions have increased near fourfold since 2014. The two sides signed a mutual logistics support agreement in 2020, which he described as allowing greater interoperability, demanding the kind of trust shared only by the closest of defense partners. Mr. O'Farrell said the June 2020 Comprehensive Strategic Partnership also committed both countries to re-engaging on completing a closer economic cooperation agreement. According to the agreement, Indian consumers and businesses will gain from the immediate removal of duties on 85% of Australian goods exported to India, while Australian consumers will benefit from the duty-free entry of nearly 96% of Indian goods imports. The two countries recently signed a memorandum of understanding to conduct joint due diligence on select greenfield and brownfield projects in order to identify lithium and cobalt mineral assets in Australia for joint investment and acquisition, which will benefit both countries' critical and strategic ecosystems. I'm Anjana signing off. Do like and share this video. For further updates, subscribe to Kaumudy Global.